In this video, a story from one of you guys that's making my blood boil. And also, is the rice diet developed by Dr. Kepner the cure-all it's said to be? And also, how much activated charcoal do you need to avoid dialysis? Catherine here, I'm a doctor of natural medicine, and this is the video you all love. I will be answering your questions. Yeah, I will be making more Q&A videos because you always ask very interesting questions. So, if you have anything that's interesting for everyone, write it down in the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe while you are there. Time to read the first comment. And guys, this one is going to break your heart. This is a cautionary tale that every single kidney patient needs to hear. Let's learn from Will Lantio, because what happened to him could happen to you tomorrow. Here's what he wrote. Thanks, Catherine, for your help over the past 5 years. You helped me stay off dialysis for about 5 years. My GFR was 17. And using your methods, it went up to 28. Wow, that's incredible, Will. Let me repeat those numbers so you understand how remarkable this is. His GFR was 17. That's end-stage kidney disease. That's start planning your dialysis schedule territory. And he managed to bring it back to 28. But here is the part that gives me chills. He kept it there for 5 years. 5 years, guys! This man avoided dialysis, defied every doctor who told him it was impossible, followed the diet religiously, and kept all his levels stable for 5 years, with kidneys that were supposed to have failed years ago. And he did all of this completely alone. No medical support, no doctor guiding him. Just pure determination and the information from this channel, which makes what happened next even more tragic. Yes, because here's how his story ended. Let me read you the rest of his comment. You helped me stay off dialysis for about 5 years until I got the contrast which devastated my kidneys. I'm so sorry, Will. You deserve better. Okay guys, I need you to understand what just happened here. And I need you to understand why this makes my blood boil. Will Lantio fought like a warrior for 5 years to save his kidneys. He did everything right. He was winning. And then one preventable medical error destroyed everything he built in a single afternoon. And now guys, you might ask, is having to do imaging tests the end for people with kidney disease? Or is there a way to prevent contrast in imaging tests from damaging the kidneys? So for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, or maybe if you are Will Lantio's doctor watching this right now, trying to figure out why your patient is suddenly on dialysis when he was stable for 5 years, let me explain something to you. We have known for decades that contrast agents can absolutely obliterate kidney function. It's called contrast-induced nephropathy, and for CKD patients, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire. However, and this is the part that should make you furious, we are living in the year of 2025. Medicine has evolved. Science has moved forward. We now have proven protocols to give imaging tests to CKD patients safely. It involves using the correct dose, the right type of contrast, IV hydration protocols with bicarbonate. There are specific steps that protect the kidneys during these procedures. This isn't experimental. This isn't cutting edge. This is standard protocol that every doctor should know. So why didn't this happen for Will? Why didn't a man who fought for 5 years lose everything because someone didn't follow basic safety protocols? There is no excuse, none. And I know your doctors should be protecting you from disasters like this, but they don't. They won't. And you'll end up on dialysis wondering what went wrong. Yes, for kidney patients, one careless decision, one overlooked detail, one doctor who didn't bother to read the protocols, that's all it takes to go from improving to dialysis. This is exactly why I offer one-on-one consultations that are fully personalized and laser focused on getting you real results fast. Because my goal is making sure you don't become the next Will Lancio, someone who did everything right and lost it all because the system failed them. I'll make sure you know exactly what tests are safe, what questions to ask your doctor, what protocols should be followed, and how to protect yourself when the medical system doesn't. So if you want to know more about working with me one-on-one, or if you're ready to stop leaving your kidney health to chance and start improving, send me an email at catherine@newhopeforkidneypatients.com or click the link in the description. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This is from Angela Shamta. She asks, what's a safe amount of activated charcoal to take daily that won't eliminate iron? When is the best time to take it also? Okay, thank you, Angela. This is a very interesting question. Activated charcoal is a popular detoxifier often used against bloating, gas, diarrhea, and more. It is also used to treat overdoses and poisoning in the ER. This substance is extremely good at binding to uremic toxins in the digestive system and removing them. It's so powerful, it was even used in dialysis patients as a way to replace dialysis. It worked. Some of these patients were able to avoid dialysis for years. However, to do that, they had to take a huge amount of activated charcoal per day. Now, you're not probably going to use it to try and get out of dialysis. So, how much should you be taking in order to protect the kidneys in CKD stage 3 or 4? Well, as we can see from this study, activated charcoal has also been studied in CKD patients to slow down the progression of the disease. And the doses are what you see on screen right now. Now, if you want my advice about activated charcoal, here's the thing. Activated charcoal works. It only has one problem. It works a little bit too much. It binds to and removes lots of things in the intestine. We are not just talking about iron. It also removes vitamins and other essential nutrients. And it's even worse when it comes to antihypertensive or immunosuppressants medications. Today, activated charcoal is almost never prescribed to CKD patients. There are medications based on it, such as AST-120 or Cremazine, that are being used. But those are much more targeted. They don't just remove everything they find in your gut. So here's my advice. Cremazine is often prescribed in Japan, the Philippines, and some other countries to fight CKD. It is actually an evolutionary step forward from activated charcoal because it's lab-made to bind to uremic toxins only. If you live in one of these countries and your doctor prescribes Cremazine to you, that's amazing. But if you are in the US, I don't really recommend you take regular activated charcoal to remove toxins, even if it works. In fact, there are alternatives that are much safer, such as Mirena fiber. Because here's the thing, while activated charcoal only works when taken with food, Mirena fiber is a supplement of acacia fiber that works even if taken on an empty stomach. And that's a huge advantage if you think about it. I mean, it can't bind to medications and nutrients if there is no medication or nutrient in your intestine at the same time as it, right? Okay, next question. This one is from Banzai Burger. Let's read it. Dr. Catherine, what is your opinion on the rice diet developed by Dr. Kempner in the 1930s? He cured many patients with severe hypertension, CKD, and type 2 diabetes with a rice and fruit diet, 90% carbs, 5% protein, 5% fat. Okay, thank you Banzai Burger for this excellent question. This is a fun one, mostly because the diet in question bans both burgers and presumably Banzai. Now, before I give you my opinion, let's clear up a few facts. The rice diet was developed in the 1930s to treat high blood pressure because back then, they had exactly 0 medications for it, alright? So, what did they do? They pulled out the nuclear option, a low-sodium, low-protein, ultra-restrictive, borderline starvation diet. And yes, it did work because when your diet is 90% rice and 10% hope and dreams, well, of course, you lose a ton of body weight, right? And that will seriously reduce a lot of things. Hypertension, CKD, diabetes, your will to live, all dramatically reduced. So yeah, this diet works. But hey, it was the Great Depression. It's not like they had lisinopril or anything like that. And here's the thing. Lately, there's been this weird resurgence of interest in the rice diet. At first, I thought, oh, how sweet. My subscribers are into the history of kidney disease treatment. I can finally stop spending my weekends writing jokes and focus on doing full lectures on dietary sodium restriction guidelines. What a dream, am I right? But then, the question kept coming and it started sounding less like cool historical curiosity and more like, please bring back the 1930s diet that cured everything with rice. So, while I'm here sharing the most up-to-date nutrition strategies, people are like, yeah, cool, but what about that rice thing from the Great Depression? That's like seeing your dentist for invisible braces and asking, do you still have those rusty metal implants from the 1800s? So, what's my actual opinion of the rice diet? It's fascinating as historical trivia, but in 2025, it has as much place in modern nephrology as bloodletting does in neurology. You need fiber, you need essential vitamins, you need essential minerals. All this stuff, you won't get it from white rice. And if anyone is out there pushing this as a miracle diet in 2025, I sincerely hope no one's actually falling for it. Because trust me, self-inflicted anemia isn't nearly as fun as TikTok makes it look. Okay guys, the next question is from Basil Jaff. He asks, what's the safest blood pressure medication for kidney? Oh, it's the rice diet, of course. Okay. Just kidding. This is actually a great question and the answer isn't simple because most blood pressure meds come with a delightful buffet of side effects. Finding the right one is like picking something to eat at a hospital cafeteria. Nothing's amazing, but you still hope to find something that won't actively destroy your kidneys or your will to live. So the real question becomes, which blood pressure pill will disappoint you the least? If we have to crown a winner here, it's usually an ACE inhibitor like lisinopril. Why? Because ACE inhibitors don't just lower your blood pressure, they also help protect against proteinuria, which means they're doing double duty. They're a bit like an employee who shows up on time and actually does their job. Now, some patients can't tolerate them. They get ACE inhibitor-induced cough, a nasty side effect. In that case, an ARB is the best choice. So yes, if you're looking for a safest option on paper, ACE inhibitors and ARBs usually win the popularity contest. But, and this is important, we're not handing out medals here. Some people need more than one med. Maybe a diuretic gets thrown in, maybe a calcium channel blocker, maybe a cocktail so long it needs its own pill organizer. Not to mention that in patients with advanced CKD, ACE inhibitors become less effective and their side effects are stronger. It's never one size fits all. So what's the safest med? The one your doctor picks after looking at your labs, your potassium, your blood pressure, and your kidney function. Don't try to go shopping for your own prescription. Your doctor spent 15 years in med school before deciding if you need losartan or lisinopril. The YouTube algorithm spent 15 seconds deciding which medication you should be scared of today. Next question, if blood pressure medications are bad for CKD patient, then what to do for high blood pressure? Speaking of which, so first of all, no, blood pressure medications are not bad for kidney patients. But as I was saying, they can have side effects. And here's the thing about side effects. The higher the dose, the bigger the number of different medications you need. The higher the chance of getting side effects. But guys, I want to be very clear here. This doesn't mean that the prescription your doctor gives you are optional, because the side effects of taking blood pressure medications may be bad, but the side effects of not taking them are as serious as a heart attack, literally. With that disclaimer out of the way, I do have one recommendation your doctor wouldn't probably give you, which is make sure your blood pressure is under control with as little medication as possible. So here's the thing, taking half dose lisinopril will definitely protect your kidneys. Having to take 5 full dose blood pressure medications will turn your kidneys into a pharmaceutical punching bag. How do we solve this conundrum? One example of how to do that comes directly from the video under which this comment was posted. This is my special recipe for turning garlic into a natural way to support your blood pressure. Because you see, this meta-analysis of 553 patients proves it. A 8.3 over 5.5 millimeters of mercury reduction can be achieved with just garlic supplements. That's an amazing way to reduce your need for blood pressure medications. And here's the thing, and there are other steps you can take to lower that blood pressure naturally. Most important, if you don't want to face medication side effects, keep your body weight under control. Do you remember what I was saying about the rice diet? That it was used to treat high blood pressure, but they weren't healing people with rice. They were healing people with calorie restriction, weight loss, and by removing salt from their diet. Now, this is very important. Always avoid salt, any kind of salt, but especially those overhyped natural salts such as Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, sea salt, and so on. Alright? News flash, guys, no amount of blood pressure meds can save your kidneys if you're actively murdering them with Celtic salt. Your doctor could prescribe you the most cutting-edge, custom-formulated, NASA-approved BP medication, and it still won't help. I just met yet another new patient the other day who reached end-stage renal failure because they were convinced by some influencer, of course, that Celtic salt was good for them. Make sure you are not the one doing that. Okay, let's move on to a very interesting question. This is from The Truth Slanger. Let's read it. Is it alright to take L Glutamine if you have CKD? I wanted to repair my gut and stomach lining. Oh, they are asking for permission. I love when people I've never met ask me for permission before taking a supplement. So let's talk about glutamine. There is some very interesting medical literature about it. In one placebo-controlled study, adults with irritable bowel disease were tested with 15 grams a day of glutamine, and the results were dramatic, as the authors of the study put it. Almost 80% of those who took glutamine improved their IBS symptoms very effectively. Improved daily bowel movement frequency, less abdominal pain, and better quality of life. And this is amazing, especially if you think about how much gut health can influence kidney health. However, wait a moment before starting to take glutamine, and not just because this is a pretty small study. That doesn't absolutely guarantee that you are getting a result when taking glutamine. There is a big problem with glutamine. If you have kidney disease, especially if diabetes is also present, it may actually damage your kidneys. Yeah, while the studies supporting its benefits are small and not very significant, we have large reviews telling that taking this amino acid can actually damage your kidneys. My advice for the truth slanger, don't take it. I don't know if you have kidney disease, but if you have it, do not supplement any non-essential amino acid. You can get enough glutamine from foods without the need for any supplement. Grains, including rice and oats, are good sources of glutamine, so it's unlikely that you need more of this non-essential nutrient. And unless you have the very specific type of IBS they were treating in the study I mentioned, you are not likely going to get the same results they got. So, what to do instead of taking glutamine? If you have CKD and you want to improve your gut health, focus on a low-protein, plant-based diet. Consider a low FODMAP diet as well, at least until symptoms improve. And don't forget that fiber supplements are strongly supported as a way to improve both kidney health and IBS symptoms, alright? So consider my Rena Fiber. This is a low FODMAP fiber supplement, meaning that unlike most fiber supplements, it won't make IBS any worse. And I also offer a probiotic supplement designed for patients with both CKD and IBS. It's called Renabiotic, and it can make a huge difference with gut health while also supporting your kidney health. Up next, a question from Ernest Cola Zero. He asks, what is the best way to get relief on kidney pain? Oh, this is a hard one. I love difficult questions. Kidney pain is tricky because in most cases, what people think is kidney pain isn't actually caused by the kidneys at all. So Ernest Cola Zero, good news is that your kidney pain is most likely not caused by kidney disease. But what could it be then? Well, a kidney infection could cause it, of course, but usually people feel the symptoms of the urinary tract infection a lot sooner than they feel the kidney pain. Things like burning when urinating and fever or chills. So this is probably not it. Now, kidney stones can cause kidney pain as well. However, usually that pain is so intense, people end up in urgent care or even the ER before even having the time to ask about it on YouTube. So here is the thing. In the vast majority of cases, what people call kidney pain turns out to be just back pain instead, usually from a muscle or joint issue in the lower back. And you can do a simple experiment to find out if that's the case. Yes, this is a try it at home kind of thing. If you have kidney pain, try moving around a little bit, stretch gently, try lying down on a flat surface. Here's what you want to look for. If when moving or stretching the pain increases or decreases or it moves around, well, that's not kidney pain. It's just back pain caused by a musculoskeletal issue, most likely. Now, this, of course, doesn't rule out the possibility of kidney disease, and back pain can also be a serious problem. So if the pain is strong enough that you are worried about it, go see your doctor. Find out what's causing it so you can treat it properly. And that's the last question for today. If you want more, watch my video up here. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Arrivederci.